Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profit. It is Wednesday. I almost said Thursday. Almost had my day mixed up, but it is Wednesday. Sometimes it's just the days just run into each other, Max. So when you do this, but how are you doing today? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. I've had some really nice air fried bacon, so very limited on fat, good on
Air
the
fry.
crispiness. It was acceptable. I'm used to eating microwave bacon, and I eat it literally and figuratively. And I'll say this, Connor, I didn't have a great night betting. One of the rare nights that the live board was the reason why I took some of Gus's money. And when it came down to it, the main board was my nightmare. The added board was my friend. But at the end of the day, I still walked away with some of Gus's money, and he had to send his girlfriend to deliver the envelope because I said I would not accept an e-transfer. So, fuck you, Gus. I'm coming for more of your shit tonight, you bastard. Let's go.
Let's go. Here, let's run through mine. I thought some of the better ones will go through it. The Monmouth was good, and the Creighton Arizona State under. Those were two of my favorite plays. Those hit, so those I was happy about. But on here, winners and losers. Wichita State Alcorn didn't stay under. Too many points there. VMI covered. It came out strong, and I thought we were going to get over in that game, Max, and it just fell short. So that kind of sucked in that one. For the rest, Jacksonville, that game stayed under. That was an easy under there. And Houston, I should have split my bet, I guess. The Houston hosed me again. They should take a first half and take a full game. They're up, I don't know what they were up, 18 or 20. And they did shoot like 2 for 23 from three. So that didn't help because I think there was a lot of blowouts. We'll run through some of the scores. Seemed like all the other big favorites covered in one easy last night, Max. So it's kind of was a shitty. Yeah. So it was a little shitty, a little good, a little bad. But let's run through some scores. Just run through a few last night. Let me know if anything catches out to you. I want to talk about some of the line movement today. Get to the segment, which I love what you're doing. Talk about how many points. And there's been some big moves, sides and totals from last night. But let's get to some of the scores. Let's get to the top 25 real quick. Duke romped. They won huge. Memphis came to play, Max. They delivered. 3-point dogs at home. I couldn't trust them, and that we talked about was a bad spot for Bama, ultimate Memphis spot. They came through, and the talent showed there.
Well, Connor, with that game, it's important to note that Penny finally got some advice from his old coaching staff, and they're like, listen, Penny, you're a dumbass. You're going to get fired if you don't fucking smarten up. Let's play the guys that we know what they can do and what they've done already for this program. They went with an older lineup with Durant in the middle, and we saw what they did. They got Alabama to play their game. Well, good for them on that one. Let's see if they can get Rick Barnes and that team in Tennessee to do that, because if Tennessee loses to Memphis, that is real bad news for that program.
Yeah. Speak to other big wins, like I just talked about. Auburn, Texas, 63-31. Tennessee won big over Upstate. Texas Tech did not, though. They won only by 13 last night. LSU won big. Cincinnati, 77-50. Won big. Clemson covered last night, Max. And Clemson team that's scoring points. A little different.
And the Clemson team that played with some really nice perseverance coming back when they were down at halftime. So it looked like that game was going to be a Miami, Ohio stick around spot. Maybe they don't win the game, but they were going to hang within the number. And then listen, hey, this ain't your old Clemson team. They shoot the basketball quite fucking nicely.
They do. They are shooting the three for sure.
But they definitely need to change their school colors because prison orange is not sexy.
Yeah, I've never cared for that. Let's get to the under we all talked about. Austin Peay, South Florida. That game stayed way under. South Florida, though, won and covered. They weren't going to take my money, but they did. Towson won by 10. They got the cover, 74-64. VMI hung in there. They hit shots. They hit threes. They folded down the stretch. And Wake Forest got to the free throw line and VMI didn't. And I still thought they missed too many shots at the very end, maybe the last 2 minutes, because that just would have trickled over, Max, I think,
Yeah,
in that one.
that game was especially harsh for me because obviously I was bigging up Wake Forest yesterday. So salute to you, Connor, for not being the public better. Secondly, I'll say this, like, I love to split games. I look at the numbers. I try and take my biases out of a lot of the time. Sometimes in games like Memphis and Alabama is hard to take it out of. But I did like this first half to stay a little lower scoring than pick up. It landed right on the number. And then I thought that, well, okay, we're gonna go over, you know. But you have a 3-minute scoring drought, that can be that tips the balance of the scale, and that's what happened. And I was the victim of it. So, someone should definitely insure me for these losses, and we make a good buck because it happens every day.
Yes, and shout out just for letting you know that, because usually by the end of this, I just go off what the final line was and kind of what we gave out. But yes, if you got that the night before at 147, you pushed. So sometimes thanks for bringing that up, because some people did not lose on that total. Monmouth, just the better basketball team right now. Max, Yale's not very good. They win by 9 and keep winning and keep covering. So I'll take it.
Yale's one-dimensional, Connor. If you stop Azari Swain, you could stop them, even at home.
Facts. I talked about Arizona State Creighton. I like this under. I didn't think Arizona State would win the game, but that game stayed under. I was happy there. That's about it. Oh, the North Texas game stayed under by 2 points. So that was the ass clinching I was talking about when you have a 122. Yeah,
and it went over first half.
Yeah, it did, and barely stayed under the full game. That was just. I mean, just think of a bucket, just a 3, and you're done. So, yeah, shout out to all the under bettors out there on games like that. No doubt.
They're getting gray hairs and they're losing minutes off their lives, but at least they're cashing tickets.
Yeah, I'm joining that club. UT Martin beat Asheville. That was a pretty big win by then. Boise State beat Santa Clara by 12. Pacific won in OT. That game would have stayed under too, Max. And then they scored a ton of points in the in OT. 18 points for Pacific. Yeah.
If they had blown that game and not been able to take advantage of that weak ass freaking backcourt for UC Santa Barbara, I would have been livid. I was staring at that screen. It was the closest monitor to my face. I am sure that if Pacific lost that game, I would have headbutted that monitor, smashed it on the ground, and had to go to the emergency room to get some stitches. And I'd be wearing my hat a little lower like this today.
True. How about this one? I liked. We talked about it. There was just no freaking way I was going to lay 6 points with Oregon State. UC Davis shot it well. They won. You know, not only they cover, they won outright. They came to play. They've had some duds. That's why even yesterday I mentioned it. I liked them with the 6, but I wasn't wild about it. But they come through and beat Oregon State. Or just go to the Elite 8. The whole year they had. I know they lost the guys, but damn, to be 1-9, rough start for the Beavs. Beaver ain't doing too well up there in Corvallis. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that usually Beaver does very well, but apparently not this Beaver.
Oh, shit. All right. Let's give a shout out to the chat real quick, Max, before we get to your line moves from last night to today. I can't wait to hear it, and then we'll get to our games. Our guy T-Mac, what's up? Taylor MacArthur, shout out. Steve, Brad Summersell, what's up? Danny Lopez, Sean Bell, Thomas Johnson, Remos, Kike, what's up? Kike? Depends, I guess, how you say it. Abel, what's up? Abel Alvarez, THC, Rizzo, what's up? Jake Burns, row your boat. Rude freaking Jude, what's up, my guy? Nuke Worker, what up? Rodney Barton, Real Deal Prime, The Grinder, what's up, my guy? Trevor Loudon, Sam Colmer, Dan T, Never Honey Mustard, Always Honey. As he put in the chat. Facts. That's it. North Ender, Vale Gotti, Jared TG, Dream Daddy. Okay. And I said row your boat. Row your boat. Max, row your boat. Let us know what the lines are today. Some of the biggest line moves from last night to today, sides and totals, north and south, big and low. Let's get it.
Yeah, I think that when we talk about line moves from last night, we have to start with the Denver game and how much U-shaped line movement we've seen in that spot. We've seen it start and open at 135 across global and Vegas books and go down to 130 and back up to 133.5. So in this game, this is a spot where you play your number and you just hope that you get in at the best of the time with what's going on with this line, because you can't really come to a real consensus of what this line's doing, with it doing going up and then going down. It's like a lady of the night, so you can't trust them. All right. The next game is definitely going to be the Abilene Cal State Bakersfield game. We've seen a 3.5-point line movement on the total towards the over. And that is definitely giving me the indicator that this could be an Abilene 70 or 80-point output. And that means that we only need Bakersfield to really score 55 points. And that is definitely manageable. So something to keep in mind. In the Lamar Texas State game, we have seen another game with U-shaped line movement opening up at 135, going down to 130 by 2 a.m., and then back up to 132. So play your number. That's what that line is telling you to do. And Conor,
real quick, I have both those games. Already you mentioned. I was shocked that they went down, or that game went down, and I'll talk about it. But keep going.
Yeah. Then we go to an under where when you saw it, you're just like, really? Did they just post that? Southeast Missouri State and Southern Illinois open at 136, respecting the move down to 132.5. Still think that it's a possibility of staying under, even though Southeast Missouri State is the more high tempo team and a possibility to get out to a lead early. So definitely respect the move because of Southern Illinois. Not sure it stays under, though. Another line that we've seen a big line move, and we're talking about 2 3-point buckets, is the Akron Wright State game, and rightly so. The issue is, does Akron bring that home pedigree onto the road scoring-wise? I tend to respect the move, and from 140 to 146 is definitely something to be aware of when betting this game. Marshall and Ohio, we've seen that line stay for about 12 hours and then shoot up early this morning from 152 to 157. Very fair move with the fact that both teams are not completely three-point oriented, run a lot of dribble ball screens and a lot of penetration to the rim. So that is a move that definitely you are getting the ass end of the line if you are taking overs. Another total move would be the Howard-Georgetown game, where we've seen it go from 155 to 158. But with their three-point shooting prowess and their free throw shooting efficiency, it's not surprising to see that happen. A game that we have seen go under is the FDU Fairfield game. I guess there isn't a lot of love for Fairfield scoring points. And I have to disagree with this move. I think it's the wrong way. The issue is always going to be, does FDU have enough defense to stop their opponent from beating them by 40? And with Fairfield's three-point shooting, I think that this number just got juicier. Just a couple more, Conor, then we're going to get into our games. FIU went up from 131 to 135. That's an interesting move because they're coming off a 4 overtime game and not sure what their legs are going to be like. We know their tempo. It's just a matter of seeing it go to work against Jacksonville State. The one favorite that turned into an underdog is South Dakota, going from a 1-point favorite to a 1.5 or 1-point dog now. I think that this is the wrong move. South Dakota is a different team at home, and I think they'll end up proving it by the end of the night. And lastly, Conor, before we get into my games, Gardner-Webb, a small 3-point move to the over, 137 to 140 full game. I agree with the move. With the 3-point shooting that they have and the way that they play at home, it's understandable.
Excellent job with these moves. The SC game's gone up a little bit as well. I've noticed 2 or 3 points. So that isn't. No, sorry, the UCLA. I meant 142, 143. It's up to 146 as well. I wonder if that can get over.
Yeah, globally, that only opened at 144 for me last night. So I
Okay.
didn't include it in just because it wasn't a 3-point by my books.
I like it. I like it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, all the good shit. We appreciate you being here. Let's get to the games, Max. Let's get to today's pretty good card here. You know, not a small one, not a massive one, right in the middle. Not a lot of huge games, but good ones to make money. And I'm ready to roll. Let's get to this one. This one tips off here about 45 minutes, early one. Chattanooga versus Belmont. Belmont's favored by 5.5. It opened at 6.5. That's 5.5 now. Total 141. What do you got here?
Yeah, this is a very physical Chattanooga team, a team that definitely plays with a lot of fire. And what does Belmont have trouble with? They have trouble with physically gifted teams like this. And I think that that's going to be an issue tonight. I think that when you look at this Chattanooga team, they are going to have size with Avery Diggs. They're going to be able to score the basketball with their two alpha scores in Malachi Smith and David Jean-Baptiste. It's hard for me not to look at this team, even though they're going to Belmont. And to add a caveat to it, you know, they haven't been stingy when it comes to scoring on the road. They've been able to score 74 points or more in 4 out of their 5 road games. And I think tonight it makes it 5 out of 6, and they find a way to keep this game close against Belmont and Big Moose, Jake Muzinski.
Excellent. I like it. All right, let's get to the next one. Marshall versus Ohio. Ohio's favored by 3.5. Total right around high here, 156.5. What do you got here?
Yeah, I think that with Ohio, this is a ball screen offense that Mark Sears has been able to run smoothly and almost perfectly. I think that when you look at the fact that they have decent size at the wing spots, they do have good game-changing scores in the front court that are experienced and know the system, and Jason Carter and Ben Vonderplay. I think not having Dwight Wilson definitely plays against them. But with Marshall, you know, they're just not a three-point oriented team. They're going to attack the rim. They're going to put Davion Kinsey in ISO situations. And if you can defend that and defend it without fouling, then you could beat Marshall. I'm willing to go with Ohio first half, give them the benefit of the doubt, see how they match up, and let's see if they can own home court, because this is a team that they are power ranked very similar beside, and home court is going to probably be the defining factor.
All righty, next one. This one's very interesting game to me, Max. Side and total. New Mexico State versus Washington State. Washington State gets hot. Man, they can hit some threes. It's favored by 7. Total's 136. You think the total might be too light? I thought it was a little bit. What do you like here?
I think that with the side, Connor, that's where my focus was. I think that this is a big step-up game for New Mexico State, but they do have the age, they have the experience, they have the coaching, they have the system. It's just a matter of, can they lock down these perimeter threats for Wazoo? And with small guards, you know, it makes it more difficult to get that three-point shot off. And I think that when you have an inexperienced but talented front court, as Wazoo has, you know, it just gives William McNair and Johnny McCants a bigger reason to step up. This is a team that's got to make free throws. They got to get Teddy Allen, Jabari Rice going offensively. If they're able to keep this game close in the first half, I think they're able to play a full 40 minutes, unlike Weber State. And I got to back the dog here and go with the Aggies, even though I love how Kyle Smith coaches this Wazoo team.
Yeah, that's right there at 7. Interesting. If New Mexico comes to play, New Mexico State, they could keep it close. But I think if Washington State's hot there at home, I think they could cover pretty easily. All depends on their shooting. Let's get to the next one. Lipscomb versus Florida State. Florida State's laying a huge number here, 20.5. Total 142.5. What'd you like?
Yeah, I think that with this Lipscomb team, they are completely different without Asadula in the lineup. We've seen Ognjenovic really be keyed in on defensively and not be able to get the perimeter shots from the top of the circle that we saw early on in the season. He's still shooting 55% from 3-point line. Don't get me wrong, but we've seen everybody else go into a little bit of a slump since. And I think that this is a Florida State smash spot for me. If you don't like the number, I think that the team total over also works in this spot. Caleb Mills has really established himself as the top dog in this offense with all the injury concerns that they've had. And with him averaging over 18 points a game in the last 4, this is a spot that he can really slice and dice, slash to the rim, and get a whole bunch of and one situations. So I think that Florida State wins this game. I think Florida State scores in this game. And even though it's a big dirty number and we're getting the ass end of it when it opened at 18.5, I still think Florida State can win this game by 25.
Okay. Yeah, without the best player, it's tough for Lipscomb. They're just not the same team. Utah State, Weber State, fascinating game here, Max. Utah State's favored by 2.5. Total 144 now. What's your look?
Yeah, I think that when you're looking at the total, the over is the right spot to go, even though these are top half of the freaking nation defenses. With this Weber State backcourt, they're going to have to bring that good on-ball defense, because with Utah State and their ball movement and their cutting to the bucket, they can really have a different guy beat you every game. And with RJ Edorock and company and hopefully a healthy Brock Miller, I think that Utah State is definitely going to give Weber a fight. But if Weber was to pack the house, get their freaking fan base up for a game, this is the game. They're a home dog. It's a 3-point bucket game. It screams to me, take the dog, because their experience, they have a decent front court, and their guards are not going to get pushed around. So I think that Weber's the spot. I think that Utah State, anytime they play another Utah school, it's always going to be a battle. And I'm just not having the belief that they're going out on the road and winning their second true road game of the year.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's a good game. I'm with you. I'll talk about it here a little bit later, but I really have to go with the over. I know it's moved a couple points because I grabbed it last night, but still at 144, I think it can get over the total. Weber State, though, my thing, I'll just kind of talk about it right now. Fuck it. All right, they haven't played really anybody, and they did get blasted by Washington State, who made a shitload of threes that game. They were making everything in that game, but they are at home where they're a lot better, like you mentioned, Max. The place should be, loud as hell. God, it should be a good game, and I'm with you. Like you said, I'd only be on the over in that spot. Great job, Max. Anything else you wanted to touch on, or are you ready for me to roll?
No, I'm ready for you to roll. My lungs are ready to have a little bit of sip of some apple juice, and I just want to see you work, Connor. Fuck with your eyes open, bro. Let's show them how we fucking do it, bro.
No doubt. Sip the apple juice. Sip the sippy cup. Get it. North Ender, MMA Locker Room, Dream Daddy, Nikki Fish Tanks, Nikki Two Tanks, Arthur Mead, my guy, what's up? Trevor, how you doing? Everyone, Jake Burns, Jared Harper, shout out to the chat. Joey, what's up? Hit the thumbs up, hit all that good shit. All right, let's get to mine here. This is the first one, the Lamar, Texas State, the game you mentioned about. I call it my ugly dog of the day, the ugliest dog of the day here in Lamar. Total's 131.5. Let's touch on the total real quick, Max, that you were mentioning. You talked about the line move, and this came down. I was shocked. I think at 131 right now, I'm on the over. The more and more I dig into all these teams, they regularly get in the 70s. Now, Lamar, that's why I think they can stay in this game, is their defense. They can play. Their defense is decent. And Texas State's not a world beater. I think they're a pretty good basketball team. There's just no way they should be laying 15 points here, in my mind. So it is ugly. Talked about it earlier. Lamar lost, 9 to Georgia Tech. They did get blown out to Texas Tech. Lost a lot of close games, whether it's Southern Miss, San Antonio. They lost by exactly 15 to Mississippi State. So I think they keep it close. And the more I went into this, I just kept looking at the over. It just seems like both these teams at this number can get over. this total. Texas State over 7 of their last 8, and Lamar 8 of their last 11. I think at 131.5, we can get over the total here. This is too light. I'm surprised it's this low. I think they think Lamar keep it close with their defense, but I still think it pushes over this number because Texas State has a pretty good offense, and they'll be able to score. I think they get to the 70s, and I think Lamar hangs in there, gets in the 60s. This goes over. So it's a split for me. I'm on the over, and I'm taking the 15 with Lamar. What did you have in this one?
Yeah, listen, I like the first half over. I do like the over at 129.5 in the game. I think that when you look at it, this is a Texas State team that has dominant guard play, not a lot of depth. And the key is going to really be, does Davion Buster have a better shooting performance than he did versus UTA? And does the complementary scoring show up tonight? So I think that is very possible. But in my opinion, I think that this is Lamar team that I'm not ready to trust with at this number. And I have to think about what was thought of when they posted a line of 14 points. So for me, just the total.
No doubt. When I see Texas State and I think they're pretty good, even against Lamar, I don't want to be laying 15 points with him. Maybe it's just, I don't know, old school in me. That's all I think. So there was 2 games, Stetson and the last one, Texas Arlington. They shot the ball really bad, Lamar. Other than that, I think they get into the 60s, 70s, and I'm not enthralled with Texas State's defense. That's why I think Lamar gets into the 60s. Texas State, I think it's in the 70s. We get over, and hopefully Lamar covers. Let's get to my second one here. FAU versus VCU. VCU's favored by 10. Totals 133. This one's moved up a little bit, Max, and I don't agree with it. I'm on the total here. If you're a VCU and it's at home, I want the under. This team just plays into about 60, 65 tops. They hold all these teams to 50 points. They played Baylor. The 2 games they lost, Baylor 69-61. And then how about UConn? That game was 70-63. That went to overtime. And then all the other teams, they just suffocate them. They're the 4th best defense in the country, top 5. FAU can score, but when they play a team like this, they'll get bogged down. So I'm on the under 133. FAU could be a sneaky with getting 10 points here. I'm not going to take it. But yeah, I'm on the under here. What's your look?
Yeah, I think that with VCU, I just can't trust to leave these type of points with them. It's dog or pass for me. And just with the injury issues that VCU has, getting Ace Baldwin back, having Brown Jones questionable with a concussion, having Hassan Ward questionable with an ankle injury, it just seems like VCU's really got to put it together before I start looking at them in this type of point range. Yeah,
if I had to take the side, I'd only be on the dog, but I think we stay under in that ball game. Let's get to my next one. That's the deal. Portland, Oregon. Man, I'm not betting on Oregon. That's for damn sure. I'm on the other side. There's too many points here. Oregon has played better as of late, but I think they're a very average basketball team in the Pac-12 right now, Max. I think maybe we keep saying as the year goes on, maybe come February they play better, but they just haven't been good. They don't shoot it particularly well. They don't shoot it from the free throw line very well. I just don't think they're very good. Their defense gives up the 3 ball. Portland can shoot it. When they're going, they can score. They don't have the greatest defense. Portland, I think Oregon will be able to score them, but 17.5, I had to jump on that. It was too much. There's still 17s out there. I think Portland, and obviously little brother against big bad Oregon, they always want to play them tough. So I'm taking the 17 with Portland. What did you like in this one?
Yeah, I think that you're on to something there. I just have that fear in the back of my mind from that Montana monstrosity.
Oh, yeah.
A poor shooting performance and then complete domination on the glass led to a big, big win. And Portland, they don't really have that natural 5-man. They play a lot of small 4 stretch ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they could run into problems against Oregon. But at the point range that we're talking about right now, there's no way that I'm backing Oregon. And throw the 2 teams out. Just give me the number. I take the 17.5.
Excellent. I'll be just real quick. The other game, I'm not on the side, Utah State, Weber State, but I am on the over. I think even at 144 it gets there. I'll just be real quick there. And my last one on here, Max, I think we get over in this UC San Diego. They shot the ball versus Denver. They shot it really, really bad their last game. I think they shoot it better. I'm not impressed with Denver's defense at all. I think they'll be able to score a bit here with Denver. And I think at 133, it dropped a little, it's dropped a little too much. And like you talked about, raised up a point. I'll take the over here. I think we can get up and over this total. And yeah, that's all I have in here. I think we get over. What did you like?
Well, my problem with UC San Diego is that it's just been really hard for good lines to be put out on them. And
Yeah.
I also say that without Tony Rokic, I don't even know if he's played the last couple games. So for me, that takes away some of their best scoring, because this is a team that just played a game against Seattle where they didn't even have a double-digit score. So when you're playing 8 or 9 guys and you can't get 10 points out of one of those guys, that's a major problem. They're not shooting the three well. They need Jake Killingsworth to do better from there. And when you can't even make 80% of your free throws when you're supposed to be a jump shooting team, that just is a bunch of red flags to me. I'm worried about the over. I agree with the over, but I will be quick to pull a trigger on a live bet to get out of it if I don't like what I'm seeing early.
Yeah, I might keep it live then. I'm just going to keep it a lean. It was my last one, the very late ad here. I was just trying to dig deep, try to find a fifth one. Sometimes it's difficult for me. I'm not like Matt's. He's betting all over the place, live betting. Not for me. But that is it. We are through all our games, Max. Shout out to the chat. Get your questions ready. We're going to be able to get through all the games here. We should be done in just 15, 20 minutes. So let's hit the commercials. Let's get pubbing. Let's get it. Look at that freaking bar, Southtown 101. If you're in the San Antonio area, get there, get some booze, get drunk, get some food, get up, sing some karaoke. Maybe you'll find freaking Babano there one day, like he always talks about, doing his karaoke bullshit. Go to manscaped.com, get promo code PubSports, get the 20% off, get the Lawnmower 4.0, keep everything shaved, cleaned up there, and go to mybookie.ag, hit promo code PubSports. Put 1,000 Bitcoin, switch to Bitcoin, put 1,000, they give you 1,000 back. If you use your debit or credit, they'll only match you with 500. You got to have multiple books, multiple lines, and get the pub rub it on the meat. Get your meat rubbed by the pub rub. 2 for $25. Get it on the chicken, your steak, your pork, get it on the grill. Go to pubsportsradio.com to pick it up. 2 for $25. Can't beat it. And when you're at pubsportsradio.com, check out some of our swag there, some of our shirts, sweatshirts, all that good shit, or you can just find it right down here on the YouTube page. That is it, Max. Let's get to the questions by the best chat in the business. Let's get to it, my guy. Rude Jude, my guy. What do you think? Arizona, just lay it tonight, minus 25, team total maybe?
Listen, I think that with Arizona, this is a group that definitely has the advantage when it comes to running the floor. We've seen Northern Colorado become very guard-oriented with Dalen Koontz and Matt Johnson really catapulting this offense at times. So I think that at the end of the day, we are going to have to see a Northern Colorado team run with Arizona. Arizona's not going to settle for jump shots. Benedict Mathurin is going to go off. And when you have Christian Koloko and Tubolis down low, able to take those feeds and go in the air and get the ball and put it down, it's Arizona all day for me. First half, full game, team total over. So hopefully I don't look like an asshole, but if I do, won't be my first time.
Yeah, it won't be the first, will be the last for all of us doing this. What about South Dakota State? Plus 3.5, and touch on the total there too, if you can.
Listen, I think that with this South Dakota State team, if they're going to be in this game and win this game outright, this game has to be high scoring. South Dakota State is a team that relies on post action to get you those jump shooters into position to make shots. They don't have a ton of dribble, drive, create for your own type guards. So that definitely handicaps them. And on the other side, when we've seen Missouri State try and play a little more defensively to get these wins, and especially at home. So I do worry about them trying to muck it up, pack the paint, and make it difficult for Doug Wilson to operate. He's the guy in the key for South Dakota State. If he can operate, score, make his free throws, and dish it out, then the big man will lead South Dakota to a win and hopefully an over. Otherwise, I'm going to be crying in the shower with my clothes on.
Yeah, you think this can get over? Even we're at this high totals, yeah.
I think it's fair considering all the firepower that Missouri State has. It just depends on what kind of tempo they want to play at. And most recently, when they played slow, they've been able to win by margin. And when they played fast is when they've had slip-ups, like against Illinois State.
Let's touch on this one. Abilene. I had it right here. Touch on the team total. I think they're favored by 8.5 and the total if you can, Max.
Yeah, it's not really hard to hate this team total over with Abilene because we know that this is the type of team that can have a 39-18 type half where they are absolutely impossible to score against, but they're still able to hit a bunch of perimeter shots. Being at home definitely makes me more comfortable with the team total with them, and also welcoming the California school. Texas basketball rocks out with their you-know-what out. So I like the Abilene Christian team total over. I got to look at it a little more, but with my style of betting, there's always room for a little team total over with Abilene, even though they wear purple jerseys. And I'm wearing a purple hat.
Let's get to this one. James Little, he said, should I take Utah State in the 2 points or laying the 2.5? And Max, you're on the other side, right?
Yeah, I'm on the other side. Give me the home dog. I think that with Utah State, definitely Justin Bean and Brandon Horford are going to be a boatload to handle. I just think at the end of the day, with Kobe McEwen and this team really wanting to have the crowd behind them to win a game in a big game, yeah, I'm going with the dog in the Utah battle.
Yeah, I'm off the side, but I think he gets over. I think it's one of the best games. I can't wait to watch that one tonight. UCF, Temple. Did you have anything in that one?
Yeah, I think that if you want to get all dog contrarian, Temple, if they're going to be in this game, they're probably going to have maybe a 1 or 2 point lead at the half. But by the end of it, I do think UCF makes better adjustments. And I think that at the end of the game, this is a number that they can get over. This is very similar to the Miami situation and the Miami number. And I think that with Darren Green and Darius Perry leading the way, as long as you get some front court production from CJ Walker and some good rebounding and defense, I have to look at UCF. This is a Temple team that is missing Khalif Battle. This is a downhill Temple team. And the bottom line is, 1 out of every 4 possessions is nice, and the rest of them are borderline insane. So I just don't want to put faith in this Temple team against a conference foe that knows their system and style already.
How about this one, Max? Oh, man, a lot of Abilene Christian love here. First half, minus 3.5.
Minus 3.5, better number than I bet. So, yeah, sign me up with that. This Cal State Bakersfield is not as tough and physical as they were last year without Tajay Moore and DeMonte Buckingham.
How about the under in the Ole Miss game? Middle Tennessee State, Ole Miss, totals 134, 134.5.
Yeah, I think that last year, definitely Middle Tennessee had a lot better defense than they do this year. I think that with Donovan Sims and Eli Lawrence being the support staff last year and now the primary scorers this year, definitely doesn't bode well for them. I think that Kermit Davis puts it to his old team again, like last year, wins by margin, but I think it's high scoring, and I think Ole Miss flexes their freaking muscles a little because, let's be brutally honest, haven't seen them really do that much this year. So Mississippi Valley State game to point out one.
Excellent. How about Donkey Bong here? Says, does Pub Sports Radio have any merch? Yes, we did. We shouted it out, but it said he'd love to see with a blank with its eyes open shirt, Max. You know what I mean? One of your favorite classic lines.
Because Conor doesn't like to swear, I'll help him out. Fucking with your eyes open. It's the way of life, gentlemen, and to the ladies out there. Open your eyes. It makes it more fun.
Visual beasts.
We are visual beasts. We need our brains to go to our eyes to go to our other brains. Let's go, baby.
All day, all night. Fuck with your eyes open. I say it. I throw it around every once in a while. I try to be as clean as I can get. I try to get as clean as I get, but every once in a while I'll throw an F-bomb out there. Ours for Jay here. SC is favored by 10. Do you think they cover tonight against Irvine? Low total here too, Max, 127.
Yeah, this is some Pac-12 skip city for me. Sorry, guys.
I'm not on it either. I want the under. Too low. So you're talking 127. No way. SC could get in the 80s. Yeah.
But you're also talking about an Irvine team that may not have Dawson Baker tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure about his injury stats. That's their best scoring guard, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Irvine could only score 55. I mean, SC could just shut him out. Yeah. Destroy him, shut him out. So that's one to keep your eye on there. How about Xavier? Cover the 15 and first half. Double question here, Max, in that game.
I think that Xavier has all the makings of an absolute bloodbath. I love that Zach Fremantle is back. The only time that I will hate on Xavier is when they got to play UConn, which is when they should absolutely die and get herpes. And I'll say this, this is an experienced team. This is a talented team. But if they can get Kai Tandy back, then they will be a complete team. Nate Johnson, the Gardner-Webb transfer from 2 years ago, is the most dangerous three-point shooter on the floor. And if he gets going early, watch out. Xavier is going to fuck with their eyes open.
Love
Double
it.
Up spot. Definitely bless that.
How about this one, Max? Bill McDonald says, do you like Nichols plus 19 against Wisconsin? Can they stay in that number?
Bill, I will forgive you because you are such a loyal, devout Pub Sports pubber. But I'm already on Nichols. I took them on the show with Jimmy the Bag this morning. I'm rocking out with my new one out, and I'm hoping that Ty Gordon and Devontae Carter can get physical. And cover that number for me.
All right. Yeah, that should be. I think they could, but I could see him not in that one as well. We did touch on the Ole Miss game. Let's get to a few more. I'm going to rip through some. Keep the questions going, but I wanted to talk with a few here, Max. How about Akron, Wright State? Wright State's here. The total is 146. Did you have anything here?
Yeah, I just don't trust Akron to take it out on the road with KJ Walton not really being that double-digit scorer that I was anticipating. They're relying on Enrique Freeman and Ahmad Ali a little too much, and they score ugly. They're not finesse, sweet scorers. So I just think that this is a spot that Wright State, if Jalen Hall and Grant Basile are on, it could get ugly early, and I'm hoping so. I love ugly.
I love an ugly game. Me too. I love a good ugly under. Missed shots. Winthrop, Elon. Winthrop favored by 3.5. High total we see. Can this get over the 152.5?
I will tell you this. One of these, a play in this game is one of my best bets. So I'll hold off and I'll wait till the end in about 12 to 15 minutes.
Wow. A little crumb right there. A little hold on here for a few minutes for Max. Touch on it, Max. We'll do it. Our guy, North Ender, I think, did he just send it? The Chattanooga-Belmont game. It's just about to start. You talked about it, but just say it real quick what you were on.
Yeah, it's Chattanooga and dog love for me. Dog love. Physicality, baby. Let's go. Chattanooga
Yep.
Mocs.
Yeah, that's me as well. I like the points there. With them, uh, tempo game over 129. You think you can get there?
Over 129. Wasn't this line
I
a
thought it
lot
was
higher
130.
earlier?
Yeah, I only read them.
Yeah,
Hold
no,
on.
no, no.
It's 135. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
135.
I think that it can stay under. I think that that's the way that I would prefer to play. That's a UCF cover type game. If this game is a lot of downhill scoring, you know that Temple's going to be in it. So definitely looking towards the under there.
Let's get to a few more, Max. We're almost done. Let's get through these. Georgia Southern, Campbell, 5.5, 6 now. Obviously low total with these two, 122.5. What's your look here?
Yeah, I think that if Campbell gets a 3-point shot going early, I'm going to cash my first half over on this game. I think that with Georgia Southern at the end of the day, I'm just not going to want to back Elijah McCadden and Andre Sazarov as a 1-2 tandem. And I think that if this team had some of the quality like Zach Bryant that they had last year, then I'd be looking at them. But not this year, not in the situation. They've been getting smacked around by D1 opponents. And I expected experienced Campbell team, if they can hit 3-point shots, which has been questionable, to win this game and do it the right way at home.
Nebraska, Omaha, right here against UNLV. UNLV is a huge favorite. 19.5 total. We're 140 now, 139.5. Did you have any play here?
For me, that's a big passeroonie. Probably degen bet it later, but right now, I'm not going to put you guys on anything in that game.
Me too. I'm not going to bullshit here. No need to bullshit the bullshitter. Alabama State, UCLA, huge 35-point spread total. We talked about 146 now and a half. Anything there?
Yeah, with UCLA, I don't really see them, unless they dominate from the get-go, being able to get over this number. I just think it's too many points. I'd have to look at Alabama State. They haven't been terrible in this point range, so it does leave me some good feelings. And I think that with Kenny Strawbridge and company, maybe they get up for this game, and maybe UCLA doesn't give a shit in the second half.
I think we've touched them all, Max. Bellarmine, South Dakota. I think this is one of our last ones. Anything there?
That is going to also be a possible best bet, so you'll have to be a little patient for that one as well.
Excellent. Gardner-Webb, North Carolina Central, 8.5 total, 139. Anything?
This is a revenge game for North Carolina Central, but I do not see what the difference is going to be tonight. This team wasn't able to score at a high enough volume to keep up with Gardner-Webb. Gardner-Webb is a much different and better performer at home. I think that Lance Terry, Kareem Reed do exactly what they did again. The only thing that is worrying me is the fact that this is a line that is 2 points less than it was in the previous game, and the venue hasn't changed. So this could be trap city for us, but if it is, I'm walking into the trap, and hopefully I got another of what I lose.
Excellent. OB Hot Dog, DM me or I'll talk to you later. I'll give you on the football in the bowl games, because we're going to go through that later this week. That is it. We're through them all there, Max. Let's get to your best bets right now. You hit yours, I'll hit mine. We'll get out of here.
All right. I'm going to go to a game that we only talked about actually from a line perspective, Connor. And I think that we're going to talk about my team, Fairfield. Yes, a wonderful school in the state of Connecticut where they love to eat applesauce and they love ladies of the night. Well, I love Fairfield because you know what? Chris Madoff, Supreme Cook scoring down low, Taj Benning getting busy down low, and then they got that 3-point shooting. This team has taken a complete 180 turnaround from what they were offensively early on last year. This is a winning team. This is a team that's been cashing tickets. I got to look at Fairfield in this spot, and the only way that I can take it is give me that Fairfield team total. Give me over 72.5 points. And don't cost it by the hook for me. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm actually trying to summon my inner Guapo man, a.k.a. the Harpoon Master, the BBW Slayer, the one and only Sharpie. All right. Connor, for my second pick. For my second pick. I talked about and teased this game earlier. Winthrop and Elon, like we said, if we're going to get that 152, 153, we're going to see 75 points in the first half. That's what I projected. Let's fuck with our eyes open. Let's get 73 or more points. Elon, don't let me down because I know that Patrick Good is going to be good.
So team total or full game over? Full game over?
First half over 72 with Elon. Team total over 72.5 with Fairfield. And lastly, the last tease game that we had in our Q&A section, guys, which I enjoyed a lot today, was let's fade the line move. Bellarmine was a dog. They are a favorite. South Dakota's a stout home team. And this ain't no cupcake. This ain't no walk in the park. It's going to be Ass Clench City, but we're taking South Dakota on the money line. Time to get some cupcakes.
South Dakota, money line. I love it. Let me run through mine real quick. I'm doubling up here. Max, just let me double check the best number I can get. Yeah, 131.5 over Lamar, Texas State. And I'm also on Lamar plus 15. FAU, VCU, under 133. This game stays under the total. I can't see it getting over in that one. Portland, plus 17. You can get it mostly everywhere. 17. I think they keep it close with Oregon. And I'm on the over in Utah State, Weber State. Over 144. I think it gets over. And I just kept it as a lean. I don't know if I'm going to play it. If I do, I tweeted out the UC San Diego, Denver. After talking with my associate here and the line move that's happened, just going to keep it as a lean, not as a best bet for the show. Max, I want you to give a last word for our great chat here, and we'll get on out of here.
Yeah, listen, chat, I appreciate you guys. I like the numbers. I like the questions. I like the engagement. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the content, and I'm making you laugh, even though I may be making you cry later on in the night. Listen, guys, it's Christmas time. It's holiday time. Remember, your families and your friends are not your first priority when it comes to gift giving. It is your local strippers, your local adult entertainers, your escapes from reality. Make sure you take care of them, and we'll try and take care of you guys.
Well said. This man couldn't say it any better. Real quick, shout out to everyone in the chat. Sam Comer, hit the like on the way out, guys. We always appreciate you hit the like button. Andrew G, North Ender, Abel, About Buck, Nicky Fish Tanks, OV Hot Dog. Yeah, Conor Mac on Twitter, my guy. Hit me up. Trevor, T-Mac, Donkey Bong, Coco Bongo, our guy. What's up, Coco Bongo? Everyone in the chat. Nathan Serta, North Ender, everyone. Hit it. We appreciate you guys. We're out of here. We're out here on a Wednesday. He's the great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mac. We be pumping!